Hello, everyone. Welcome back uh, to today's session. Uh, we are talking about different kinds of resources, yeah, which we are either born with or we have created. So far we have spoken about, we have discussed tangible resources that we ourselves have created or have recognized in us, and intangible resources which have been there. Now we go beyond ourselves and we want to talk about tangible resources which are there for us, uh, and they are outside of us. So I think in the first part of it we want to talk about the tangible resources which come to us from our family, from our ancestors. And then we are going to talk about other tangible resources which are around us, other than family, so to say. So if we look at in the simplest way, then when we are born, our parents take care of us. Like they make sure that we live, and for that they provide the basic things. They take care of our basic survival. So that's the first experience of receiving a resourceful experience or thing from our parents is what we all get in our life. So our parents give us not just life, but after we are born, taking care of each and every possible thing for our survival. Then they also make sure that we, get more resources for our development, like our intellectual development, mental and emotional development. So they make sure that we get our education. They work for that. They provide for that. So in that sense, they also put in a lot of money, that they earn, but they utilize for us. And we take that resource and then we start adding knowledge to our basket. Thereby we become knowledgeable, thereby we become confident, thereby we find our direction in life. So I think that's the uh, most basic and yet most fundamental resource we all have experienced. Every one of us, gets something in this entire experience. Every parent tries to give uh, these basic things to their children. So we all have experienced it. More or less is a different story because that has a personal journey and personal dynamic. And if we go beyond that, then what our parents have done in their own life, that also becomes kind of a resource for us at times. Like someone's father is a doctor, a renowned doctor. When they go out, people know them by father's name. Sometimes people support because they already know the father and his contribution in either society or generally, whoever knows them. And then that becomes a resource. What have I done for that? I'm just born as his daughter, but I'm getting it. So our parents earn a lot of things, even when they do that for themselves. uh, it becomes a tangible resource for us. Their image, the respect they earn, the money they earn, their physical presence. When they can't be there physically for us, they make sure that they at least, they are in some other place. They'll make sure that somebody else who's reliable can take care of us. For example, relatives or friends, extended family. So they make sure. So all of this resource, which is right there, with which we start growing. Without this, we can't even survive. So uh, that's, I think, the biggest and most obvious tangible resource that we all experience. Similarly, if we go beyond our parents and just the extended family, then of course our grandparents and great grandparents, whatever they did, and that's how generation after generation the family has, survived or uh, grown. So even that becomes a tangible resource. So when uh, we often say that now we have earned so much, and yet we see this scenario, right? The current generation might be very successful and they are doing very well in their personal lives, uh, socially, emotionally, in their finances or career. And yet, when it comes to some ancestral property, everybody stands up saying that I want it. So, somewhere that deep connection through which we want to stay connected to our ancestors, and that is a resource, right? So, on one side, we see that when you have all of this, why can't you let go of that? But I think because it means something, everybody feels connected to it and everybody feels that they would want it if that has to come to them. So, our ancestors have left so many tangible resources in that sense for us. Our parents existed because our grandparents were there. They existed because their parents were there. So, every physical experience that we get through our family, which has supported in our growth, in our survival, has come from our ancestors. So, I think we just want to take a moment to, recall and remember and think about all these things. Because when we are born into it, it is like the fish which has come out of mother's womb. Water is there. It's just there. It's just so obviously there. And the most obvious things are the most taken for granted things. So the intention behind talking about this is that we get connected to, whatever they did, good, bad, whatever the intention, that we leave something behind for our children, for our grandchildren and next generations. And of course that has come to us. So these are the tangible resources which are readily available just by, in a way, the birthright. We haven't actually done anything. We've just taken birth in a family and then all this comes to us. And when we do look beyond all of this, Priya, you want to add anything over here? The tangible resources around us in family.
I think what I would like to add, of course, not in regard of the content, because I think it's pretty clear. Like when you're born, like you said, it's there. It's just there, and that's like the zero from which a person starts and starts creating their own tangible. I think what I got present to and what I would like to share is this is the area where most people in their life have a sense of maybe comparison. Oh, why do I belong here? And why do I not belong to some other place? Or why is it that, a particular family is like that and my family is not like this? Or why don't I have such tangible resources like some other person has? Eventually in life, these questions start coming up at some point in time. So, as we have said time and again that the family that anyone is born into is the most appropriate place for them to be. There is no other unique place that they could have been. When we spoke about parents, also we said the same thing that these are the set of parents that are the most appropriate for your growth. In the same way, this is the family or this is the set of people as a family which is the most appropriate for your soul growth. And hence you are born here. So the earlier a person comes into, when I say acceptance, I don't say acceptance as just accept. So, okay, so now this is the way it is. But in complete acceptance of I am meant to be here for a purpose, for a reason, and uniquely present in this family, in this place. That is the most, I think, liberating truth for a person to start with. Because with that, I think there will be a lot of things which a person can start looking subjectively for their life. Then, how do I feel here? How do I feel with my grandparents? How do I feel with my mother's side of the family? How do I feel with my father's side of the family? Am I more inclined to any one of them? Do I feel that these people had more tangible resources and these did not? Or I am more inclined towards the tangible resources coming from one side of the family, and hence I have a sense of loyalty or connectedness there in a particular way. So I think the difference is like just acknowledging that this is where I truly belong, because this is the most appropriate place for me to be on earth. uh, that is the most the ultimate truth, I feel. And a lot of complaints also will come to notice if a person starts saying that. Not only complaints, but a lot of um, you know a person can become truly receiving of the resources which are there and available for them, for their journey, for their soul growth. So that's all I would like to add, that an ancestry has as much a role to play as parents. Like we say, these are the unique set of parents that you are born to. In the same way, this is the unique ancestry that you have chosen to belong as a soul. So this is the unique tangible resources that you have chosen to be born into. And the more we come into realization of that fact, the more we come into acceptance of what is. And I think from there the journey begins. That's the thing I would like
True.
to.
And sometimes we consciously, pull towards a particular uh, ancestor in any one of the lineages. And we feel that, this comes to me very naturally. And that is a resource which is coming to us from that ancestor. So, of course, we all have our set of, you know, uh, troubles and in therapy language, trauma, and then our complaints and our pain. And we keep thinking, oh, I got this pain from my ancestor, that issue from them. But they also leave, they do not ever intend to leave their pain for us to process. They intend to leave good things, the blessings, the love, or whatever they have created for us. So, as Priya said, if we become aware of our complaints and we embrace that this is the family I have chosen to be in, these are the ancestors I have chosen to be in, then the resources can become available. They are there, but at times we just don't see them. They are hidden from our uh, perception because we are too caught up with other things, the complaints or the pain or whatever else, or expectation, or as Priya said, comparison. Oh, my friend's family has better resources than my family, but I think this family was meant for me and I was meant to be here. That's how I have come here. So if we can embrace that, then something new can open up, and very very sure that every family will have its own set of resources which they are able to create and they want to give forward. So I think that can become available for all of us today. Like that perception. We're talking about that. so that we can look at what has been there and how I can actually become open to receive it, start using it if I already have it. So that's the thing. So, shall we, after this, talk about other tangible resources around us, which could be, the teachers we meet, the friends we make, the acquaintances we come across, and we at times take support from them or learn things from them. Look up to somebody, you know, take guidance from them, or just observe and learn when they do certain things and they have their own way to show us. So even these things can become resources around us, not per se we have. But these people are very resourceful people, we say, right? And again, we all do have such people around us. So I think if we start looking at the resources, we can find plenty of them around us. If we are not looking for the resources, then we can find everything else. We find the complaints, we find the things which are not working or the challenges. But as they say that every challenge that comes your way brings its solution with it. Until and unless we look at it, it doesn't get available for us. Uh, right, Priya? You want to talk about the community resources?
Yeah, that's another very beautiful, tangible resource which is available in many places. So, one very beautiful thing which is available is when a community comes together. So when we talk of a particular community having, I have like we have a community which comes together, celebrates things in a particular way. Maybe any religion, maybe any caste. We have seen people coming together of the same community and having certain things as goals, which they set. And in a larger picture, sometimes when the community gets larger, with a bigger vision, they also start creating a lot of tangible resources for not only people of their own community, but also for people around in the society. So either it could be schools, hospitals, or there could be, they help each other in businesses, in their trade, in occupation, or they have grants for education. So it becomes like a bigger family. So it's not your ancestry per se, but people of that community become an ancestry together. So we have seen in a lot of places, for example, as an example, um, if you can take your own community and say, we meet at such times, or we celebrate certain festivals together. Why does that happen? So one is the sense of belongingness comes because there is a shared custom, there is a shared culture, and there is a shared ancestry also at times. But other than that, there's a lot of like we said, relationships also is a very tangible thing. There's a lot of things which comes with meeting people of your own kind, like kindred. So we have realized that communities can add a lot of value as a tangible resource for your life. If In fact, if a particular person is not able to connect to their community or any of these resources, that also says something. That if you're, they are, like we have certain cases where a person says, you know what, I'm born into this community, but I don't feel a part of this, or I don't feel that these customs are okay, or these culture is fine, or I feel like a kind of a misfit. So that also says something. If you were not meant to be in that particular community, why were you born there? So every resource, whether you are able to use it or you're not able to connect to it, says something for your soul growth. So I think our process is around that today, what we want to do. And we've realized that these resources, these tangible resources, if they are directly coming to you and you're able to use them, it's a resource in itself. And if it is not coming to you, and you find it difficult to access this as a resource for yourself, that also says something. So I think we will be doing the process around that, which will make it more clear to what is it that is available for you and what is it that is, mm, what you're not able to connect to, or what you're not present that it is there and you have not utilized it fully. So our process today is around that. Yeah, Gayatri?
Yes. So, should we start with the process?
Yes, I think so.